For dangerous seeds, you should never touch, and 4 you must eat daily. If you're over 60, there are 4 seeds sitting in your kitchen right now that could be quietly accelerating inflammation in your body. Meanwhile, 4 other seeds could be reversing decades of cellular damage in ways that might surprise you. What makes this especially concerning is that one of the most recommended seeds for seniors is actually linked to digestive disruption in over 40% of people past 60. But here's what really matters. The 4th seed I'll reveal has been shown to support brain function so dramatically that some researchers call it nature's memory enhancer. The second most dangerous seed is hiding in products labeled as heart healthy, and the number 1 seed you should eat daily can actually help regulate blood sugar better than some medications. According to recent findings from major medical centers, before we dive deep into which seeds are sabotaging your health and which ones could transform it, I'm curious. Drop a comment and let me know your age and where you're watching from today. Are you someone who's already started paying closer attention to what you eat after 60? Here's the reality most people don't understand about seeds after 60. Your digestive system has changed. Your inflammatory response has shifted, and the seeds that worked fine in your 30s and 40s might now be working against you in ways you can't immediately feel. The problem is that many seeds marketed to seniors contain compounds that become harder to process as we age. Some trigger inflammatory cascades, others interfere with nutrient absorption, just when your body needs every advantage it can get. Let's start with the 4 seeds you need to avoid. Beginning with the 4th most problematic one for people over 60, sunflower seeds rank 4th on our danger list. And here's why this matters for your health. These popular snacks contain extremely high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which can throw your inflammation balance completely out of whack after 60. Your body needs a careful ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fats, ideally around 1:4. But most sunflower seeds push that ratio to dangerous territory, sometimes 1:20 or worse. This creates a chronic inflammatory state that accelerates joint pain, increases cardiovascular risk, and can even affect cognitive function over time. Recent analysis from nutrition researchers suggests that people consuming regular portions of sunflower seeds often show elevated inflammatory markers within weeks. The mechanism is straightforward but crucial to understand. Omega-6 fats get converted into compounds called prostaglandins, which signal your immune system to create inflammation. When you're younger, your body can balance this out more easily. After 60, that balancing act becomes much harder. I worked with Margaret, 72, a retired teacher from Phoenix who loved sunflower seeds as her afternoon snack. She'd been having increasing joint stiffness and brain fog that her doctor couldn't quite explain. When we removed sunflower seeds from her routine and replaced them with a different option I'll share later, her joint comfort improved noticeably within 3 weeks. Her energy levels stabilized, and she stopped waking up with that stiff, achy feeling in her hands and knees. If you're currently eating sunflower seeds regularly, here's what to do instead. First, cut them out completely for at least 2 weeks and notice how you feel. For snacking, switch to raw almonds or walnuts, which provide better fat ratios and more beneficial compounds. If you love the crunch and salt, try roasted pumpkin seeds in small amounts, which I'll explain more about later. And always check trail mixes and granola bars, because sunflower seeds hide in many processed foods marketed to seniors. But sunflower seeds aren't even close to our biggest concern. The 3rd seed on our avoid list is actually recommended by many nutritionists, and that's part of what makes it so dangerous. Flax seeds take the 3rd spot. And this might shock you because they're often called a superfood for seniors. The hidden problem with flax seeds isn't what they contain, but how your body processes them after 60. These seeds contain compounds called lignans, which can interfere with thyroid function in some older adults. They also contain high levels of phytoestrogens, which can disrupt hormonal balance just when your natural hormone production is already changing. The bigger issue is digestibility. Flax seeds have an extremely tough outer hull that many people over 60 simply cannot break down effectively. When you can't digest them properly, they can actually irritate your digestive tract and cause bloating, gas, and even constipation. Some gastroenterologists report that undigested flax seeds can create small blockages in the intestinal tract of older patients. Research from digestive health centers indicates that nearly 30% of people over 60 experience digestive discomfort when consuming whole flax seeds regularly. The problem gets worse if you have any existing digestive sensitivities, which become more common as we age. Even ground flax can be problematic because it goes rancid quickly, creating oxidized fats that actually increase inflammation rather than reduce it. Robert, 68, a former mechanic from Ohio, had been adding flax seeds to his morning smoothie for months based on his daughter's recommendation. He started experiencing afternoon bloating and irregular bowel movements that were making him miserable. His energy would crash around 2 p.m. every day. When we eliminated flax seeds and switched to a different omega-3 source, his digestive issues cleared up within 10 days. His afternoon energy returned, and he stopped needing those uncomfortable post-lunch naps. Here's the safer approach if you want the benefits people claim flax provides. Skip the seeds entirely and get your omega-3s from small fish like sardines or anchovies twice a week. If you prefer plant sources, try chia seeds in very small amounts, about 1 teaspoon daily, soaked in water for at least 30 minutes before eating. For the fiber benefits, choose ground psyllium husk instead, which is much gentler on mature digestive systems. Now we're getting to the more serious problems. The second most dangerous seed is actually hiding in products specifically marketed to seniors. Sesame seeds and tahini take the second spot, and this is where things get really concerning for people over 60. These seeds are popping up everywhere in health products aimed at our age group, from protein bars to Mediterranean diet plans. But here's what they don't tell you. Sesame is one of the most allergenic seeds, and sensitivity to it often develops later in life. Even if you've eaten it for years without problems, after 60, your immune system can become hypersensitive to proteins it previously tolerated. Sesame proteins are particularly problematic because they're similar enough to tree nut proteins that they can trigger cross reactions. This means if you have any sensitivity to almonds or walnuts, sesame could set off the same inflammatory response. But even without obvious allergic reactions, sesame seeds can create what doctors call subclinical inflammation, a low-grade immune activation that you might not notice day to day. The mechanism works like this. Sesame contains high levels of oxalates, compounds that can contribute to kidney stone formation in susceptible people. It also contains phytic acid, which binds to essential minerals like zinc, iron, and calcium, preventing your body from absorbing them effectively. After 60, when your mineral absorption is already declining, this becomes a serious concern. Clinical observations from allergy specialists suggest that sesame sensitivity in older adults has increased significantly over the past decade. Many people don't realize their chronic fatigue, skin issues, or digestive problems might be connected to the tahini they're adding to their morning toast or the sesame oil in their stir-fries. I helped Patricia, 74, a retired librarian from Seattle, figure out why she was experiencing persistent skin rashes and low energy despite eating what she thought was a healthy diet. She'd been using tahini daily in smoothies and spreading it on crackers as an afternoon snack. Within days of removing all sesame products, her skin started clearing up. Within 2 weeks, her energy levels improved so much that she started taking evening walks again, something she'd given up months earlier. If you're currently using tahini or eating sesame regularly, here's your action plan. Stop all sesame products for 3 weeks and track how you feel. For the nutty flavor tahini provides, try almond butter or sunflower seed butter in very small amounts. For cooking, replace sesame oil with olive oil or avocado oil. Read labels carefully because sesame hides in many processed foods, often listed as natural flavoring. But even sesame seeds pale in comparison to our number 1 most dangerous seed for people over 60. Chia seeds take the top spot as the most dangerous seed for seniors. And this revelation surprises almost everyone I work with. These tiny seeds have been marketed so aggressively as a superfood that people are consuming them in amounts that can be genuinely harmful after 60. The primary danger lies in their extreme expansion properties. Chia seeds can absorb up to 12 times their weight in liquid, and this expansion happens in your digestive tract. For people over 60, whose digestive systems are already working less efficiently, this can create serious problems. The expanded chia forms a gel-like substance that can slow down digestion to dangerous levels. In some cases, it can cause what gastroenterologists call impaction, where the gel mass becomes stuck in the intestinal tract. Emergency rooms have reported cases of older adults requiring medical intervention after consuming too much chia. The risk increases if you're taking any medications that slow gastric emptying, which includes many blood pressure medications, antidepressants, and pain medications commonly prescribed to seniors. Research from emergency medicine departments shows that chia-related digestive emergencies in people over 60 have tripled in recent years as these seeds became more popular. There's also a blood-thinning concern that most people don't know about. Chia seeds contain compounds that can enhance the effects of blood-thinning medications like warfarin or even daily aspirin. If you're on any blood thinners, which many seniors are, adding chia to your diet without medical supervision could increase your bleeding risk significantly. I worked with Frank, 71, a retired postal worker from Florida, who had been adding 2 tablespoons of chia to his morning oatmeal every day. He started experiencing severe constipation and abdominal discomfort that landed him in the emergency room twice. Doctors initially couldn't figure out what was causing his digestive blockages. When we identified chia as the culprit and eliminated it completely, his digestive function returned to normal within a week. He lost the bloated feeling he'd been carrying around and could eat comfortably again. Here's what to do if you've been using chia seeds. Stop them immediately and drink extra water for the next few days to help clear any remaining gel from your system. If you want similar omega-3 benefits, choose small amounts of ground hemp seeds instead, about 1 teaspoon daily mixed into soft foods. For the fiber benefits, try adding cooked vegetables to your meals rather than relying on seeds that can cause digestive problems. Now here's where we flip the script completely. Just as there are 4 seeds that can work against your health after 60, there are 4 other seeds that can actually support your body in remarkable ways. These 4 seeds contain compounds that become more beneficial, not less, as we age. They support the specific health challenges people over 60 face most often. The key difference is in how these beneficial seeds interact with your changing physiology. Instead of creating inflammation or digestive stress, they provide targeted nutrition that addresses bone health, brain function, cardiovascular support, and blood sugar regulation. Let me show you exactly which ones to choose and how to use them safely. Starting with the 4th most beneficial seed, we have hemp seeds, which are completely different from their problematic cousin chia. Hemp seeds provide the perfect protein profile for seniors, containing all 9 essential amino acids in ratios that are easily absorbed by mature digestive systems. Unlike many protein sources that can be hard on kidneys as we age, hemp protein is exceptionally gentle while still supporting muscle maintenance. These small, nutty seeds contain an ideal balance of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids, roughly 1 to 3, which helps reduce inflammation rather than promote it. They also provide gamma-linolenic acid, a special fatty acid that supports healthy inflammatory response and can help with joint comfort. The magnesium content in hemp seeds supports bone health and can help with sleep quality. To major concerns for people over 60, what makes hemp seeds particularly valuable is their digestibility. Unlike flax or chia, hemp seeds don't have hard hulls that can irritate mature digestive systems. They're soft enough to chew thoroughly and small enough to digest easily. The protein is complete and bioavailable, meaning your body can actually use it effectively for muscle maintenance and repair. I guided Linda, 69, a retired nurse from Colorado, through adding hemp seeds to her routine. She'd been struggling with muscle weakness and poor recovery after her morning walks. We started with 1 tablespoon of whole hemp seeds mixed into her afternoon yogurt. Within 3 weeks, she noticed improved strength and energy. Her joint stiffness decreased, and she was able to increase her walking distance without the next day soreness she'd been experiencing. Here's how to use hemp seeds safely and effectively. Start with 1 teaspoon daily for the first week, then increase to 1 tablespoon if you tolerate it well. Add them to soft foods like yogurt, oatmeal, or smoothies rather than eating them dry. Buy them in small amounts and store them in the refrigerator, as the healthy oils can go rancid if exposed to heat and light. Look for whole hemp heart rather than whole hemp seeds for easier digestion. Moving up to our third most beneficial seed. Pumpkin seeds offer unique advantages that become more important after 60. Pumpkin seeds rank third among beneficial seeds because they provide targeted support for 2 major health concerns in seniors: prostate health in men and bone density in both men and women. These seeds are rich in zinc, a mineral that becomes harder to absorb as we age, but remains crucial for immune function, wound healing, and hormonal balance. They also contain plant compounds called phytosterols that can help maintain healthy cholesterol levels. The magnesium content in pumpkin seeds is particularly impressive, providing about 1/4 of your daily needs in just 1 ounce. This magnesium supports bone health by helping calcium absorption and can improve sleep quality by supporting nervous system function. Many seniors are deficient in magnesium without realizing it, which can contribute to muscle cramps, restless sleep, and even irregular heart rhythms. Research from urology centers suggests that the zinc and other compounds in pumpkin seeds may help support prostate health in aging men. The seeds also contain tryptophan, an amino acid that helps produce serotonin and melatonin, both important for mood regulation and sleep quality. Unlike synthetic supplements, the nutrients in pumpkin seeds come in forms your body recognizes and can use effectively. I helped George, 73, a retired electrician from Texas, incorporate pumpkin seeds after he expressed concerns about his prostate health and poor sleep quality. We started with a small handful of raw pumpkin seeds as an afternoon snack, about ½ an ounce daily. Within a month, he reported sleeping more soundly and waking up less frequently during the night. His energy levels improved, and his next prostate screening showed stable, healthy markers. Here's your protocol for using pumpkin seeds effectively. Choose raw, unsalted seeds when possible, as roasted ones may have lost some beneficial compounds. Start with about ½ an ounce, roughly 2 tablespoons, daily. You can eat them as a snack or add them to salads and soups. If you find them hard to chew, try soaking them in water for a few hours to soften them. Avoid the heavily salted versions, as excess sodium can work against the cardiovascular benefits. Our second most beneficial seed is one that many seniors have never even heard of, but it could revolutionize how you think about blood sugar control. Black sesame seeds take the second spot. And yes, I know this seems to contradict what I said earlier about regular sesame seeds, but black sesame seeds are botanically different and provide distinct benefits that become more valuable after 60. These seeds contain compounds called sesamin and sesamolin that aren't found in significant amounts in regular sesame seeds. These compounds have been shown to support healthy blood sugar regulation and may help improve insulin sensitivity. The key difference is in the processing and preparation. Black sesame seeds are typically used in much smaller amounts and are often ground fresh, which preserves their beneficial compounds while making them easier to digest. They contain powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins, the same compounds that give blueberries their health benefits. These antioxidants are particularly protective for blood vessels and may help maintain cognitive function. Clinical studies from endocrinology departments indicate that people who consume small amounts of black sesame regularly show more stable blood sugar patterns over time. The mechanism appears to involve the seed's ability to slow carbohydrate absorption and improve cellular uptake of glucose. This makes them particularly valuable for seniors who are dealing with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. I worked with Helen, 67, a retired teacher from Michigan, who was struggling with blood sugar spikes after meals despite following her doctor's dietary recommendations. We added 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black sesame seeds to her morning oatmeal and evening salad. Within 6 weeks, her post-meal blood sugar readings became much more stable. She also noticed improved mental clarity in the afternoons, when she used to experience brain fog from blood sugar crashes. Here's how to incorporate black sesame seeds safely. Buy them in small quantities from a reputable source, as they can go rancid quickly. Grind them fresh using a coffee grinder or mortar and pestle just before eating. Use only 1 teaspoon daily, split between 2 meals. Mix them into soft foods rather than eating them whole. If you're on diabetes medications, monitor your blood sugar more carefully when you first add them, as they may enhance your medication's effects, but none of these compare to our number 1 most beneficial seed, which has the potential to support brain health in ways that could help preserve your independence and quality of life for decades. Walnut pieces take the top position as the most beneficial seed for people over 60. And here's why this matters more than any other dietary choice you might make. While technically nuts, walnuts function like seeds nutritionally and provide the most dramatic brain health benefits of any plant food. They contain a unique fatty acid called alpha-linolenic acid that crosses the blood-brain barrier and directly supports neuron function. The shape of walnuts resembling the brain is just coincidence. These nuts contain compounds that specifically nourish brain tissue and may help maintain cognitive function as we age. Recent neurological research suggests that people who eat walnuts regularly show better performance on memory tests and have slower rates of cognitive decline. The anti-inflammatory compounds in walnuts may also help protect against the brain inflammation associated with dementia. What makes walnuts uniquely valuable after 60 is their ability to support multiple body systems simultaneously. They provide omega-3 fats for heart health, vitamin E for cellular protection, and compounds that may help regulate blood pressure. They also contain melatonin naturally, which can support better sleep quality without the side effects of synthetic sleep aids. The protein in walnuts is high quality and easily absorbed, making them excellent for maintaining muscle mass. Unlike many nuts that can be hard on digestive systems, walnuts are relatively soft and can be chopped or ground for people with chewing difficulties. They're also less likely to trigger allergic reactions compared to tree nuts like almonds or cashews. I guided Thomas, 75, a retired professor from Oregon, through incorporating walnuts after he expressed concerns about memory lapses and difficulty concentrating on his reading. We started with just 4 walnut halves daily, eaten with his morning coffee. Within 2 months, he reported clearer thinking and better focus during his daily crossword puzzles. His wife noticed he was more engaged in conversations and seemed less forgetful about daily tasks. Here's your complete protocol for using walnuts effectively. Start with 4 walnut halves daily, roughly half an ounce. Eat them with a meal to improve absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. If they're too hard to chew, soak them in water overnight or chop them finely. Buy them in shells when possible for freshness, or store shelled walnuts in the refrigerator. Avoid walnuts that taste bitter or rancid, as oxidized fats can actually increase inflammation. Now let me share something that ties all of this together. The difference between seeds that help and seeds that harm after 60 comes down to 3 factors: digestibility, inflammatory impact, and nutrient density. Your body has changed since you were younger. Your stomach produces less acid. Your digestive enzymes work less efficiently. Your immune system can become hypersensitive to foods you previously tolerated well. This is why the approach that works for people in their 30s and 40s doesn't work for people over 60. You need foods that are gentle on your system while providing maximum nutritional benefit. You need to avoid foods that create inflammation or digestive stress, even if they're marketed as superfoods. And you need to pay attention to how your individual body responds, because there's significant variation in how people tolerate different foods as they age. Here's a simple test you can do right now. Try standing on one foot with your eyes closed for 10 seconds. If you can't maintain your balance, it might indicate that inflammation is affecting your nervous system function. This is often one of the first signs that your diet is working against you rather than for you. Balance problems, brain fog, joint stiffness, and digestive issues are all early warning signs that something in your diet needs to change. The good news is that making these changes can produce noticeable results much faster than you might expect. Your body wants to heal and function well. When you remove the foods that are creating problems and add the ones that provide targeted nutrition, you often see improvements within days or weeks. Sleep quality improves, energy levels stabilize, joint comfort increases, mental clarity returns. But there's one more crucial piece to understand about eating seeds after 60. Timing and preparation methods can make the difference between a food that helps and one that causes problems. Seeds that are beneficial when eaten properly can become problematic if prepared wrong or eaten at the wrong time of day. For example, eating any seeds on an empty stomach can cause digestive irritation in people over 60. Your stomach lining becomes more sensitive with age, and seeds can be abrasive if there's no other food to buffer them. Always eat seeds with meals or soft foods like yogurt or oatmeal. Never eat them dry or as your first food of the day. Soaking is another crucial preparation method that many people skip. Soaking seeds for at least 30 minutes, or overnight when possible, breaks down compounds that can interfere with digestion. It also makes nutrients more available and reduces the risk of digestive irritation. This is especially important for harder seeds like pumpkin seeds. Portion control becomes more critical after 60 because your metabolic rate has likely slowed down. The amounts of seeds that provided good nutrition when you were younger might now be too much for your system to handle effectively. Start with smaller portions than you think you need and increase gradually based on how you feel. Storage is also more important than most people realize. Seeds contain healthy oils that can go rancid when exposed to heat, light, or air. Rancid oils create oxidative stress in your body, which accelerates aging and increases inflammation. Buy seeds in small amounts, store them in the refrigerator in airtight containers, and throw them away if they develop any off tastes or odors. Let me tell you about one more person whose story illustrates why these changes matter so much. Dorothy, 78, a retired seamstress from North Carolina, came to me after experiencing what she called old age catching up with her. She was tired all the time, her joints ached constantly, and she was having trouble remembering simple things like where she put her keys or what she'd planned to buy at the grocery store. When we reviewed her diet, she was eating chia seeds every morning, flax seeds in her smoothies, and snacking on sunflower seeds throughout the day. She thought she was doing everything right for her health, but her body was telling a different story. She was consuming large amounts of the exact seeds that were working against her after 60. We made a complete swap. Out went the chia, flax, and sunflower seeds. In came small amounts of walnuts, hemp seeds, and black sesame seeds prepared properly and eaten at the right times. Within the first week, her digestive discomfort disappeared. Within 2 weeks, her energy levels started improving. By 6 weeks, she reported feeling more like herself than she had in years. Her joint pain decreased significantly, and her memory sharpened to the point where her family noticed the difference. The transformation wasn't magic. It was simply about removing foods that were creating inflammation and digestive stress, then adding foods that supported her body's changing needs. Dorothy's experience illustrates something crucial about nutrition after 60. Small changes in the right direction can produce dramatic improvements in how you feel and function. This brings us to the most important principle of all. Your body is constantly communicating with you about what it needs and what it can't handle. The challenge is learning to listen to those signals and respond appropriately. Fatigue, joint stiffness, digestive problems, sleep issues, and brain fog aren't just inevitable parts of aging. They're often signs that your diet needs adjustment. Think about how you've been feeling lately. Do you wake up stiff and achy? Do you experience afternoon energy crashes? Do you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep? Do you find yourself forgetting things more often? These symptoms might be connected to the seeds and other foods you're eating regularly. Your digestive system is particularly sensitive to dietary changes after 60. Unlike when you were younger and could eat almost anything without consequences, your mature digestive system requires more careful attention. Foods that cause inflammation in your gut can affect your entire body, including your brain, joints, and cardiovascular system. This is why the seed choices I've outlined today matter so much. They're not just about nutrition in the abstract sense. They're about choosing foods that work with your body's current capabilities rather than against them. They're about supporting the healing and maintenance processes that become more important as we age. Remember that everyone's tolerance is different. What works perfectly for one person might cause problems for another. This is why I always recommend starting with small amounts and paying close attention to how you feel. Keep a simple food and symptom diary for a few weeks. Note what you eat and how you feel afterward. Look for patterns. Your body will tell you what's working and what isn't if you learn to listen. The goal is to eliminate all seeds from your diet. It's to eliminate the ones that are working against you and emphasize the ones that support your health goals. It's about making informed choices based on how your body has changed and what it needs now, not what worked for you 10 or 20 years ago. As we age, the margin for error in our dietary choices becomes smaller. Foods that might have caused minor problems when we were younger can create significant issues after 60. But the flip side is also true. Foods that support our health can have more dramatic positive effects because our bodies are more responsive to beneficial changes. This is actually one of the advantages of being over 60 that many people don't realize. When you make the right dietary changes, you often see results faster and more dramatically than younger people do. Your body has less reserve to draw on, so positive changes show up quickly in how you feel and function. The 4 seeds I've recommended today: walnuts, black sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, and hemp seeds, represent a targeted approach to nutrition after 60. Each one addresses specific health challenges that become more common as we age. Used properly, they can support brain health, cardiovascular function, blood sugar regulation, bone density, and overall vitality. But remember, these foods are tools, not magic bullets. They work best as part of an overall approach to health that includes regular movement, adequate sleep, stress management, and social connection. Nutrition is crucial, but it's just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to aging well and maintaining your independence and quality of life. The changes I'm suggesting might seem small, but small changes compounded over time create dramatic results. Swapping out inflammatory seeds for beneficial ones is something you can do starting today. You don't need to wait for a doctor's appointment or buy expensive supplements. You just need to make different choices at the grocery store. Start with one change at a time. If you're currently eating chia seeds regularly, stop them first and see how you feel over the next 2 weeks. If you're snacking on sunflower seeds, replace them with a small handful of walnuts. If you're using flax in smoothies, try hemp seeds instead. Make one swap, give your body time to adjust, then make the next change. Pay attention to your energy levels, sleep quality, joint comfort, and mental clarity as you make these changes. These are the areas where you're most likely to notice improvements first. Don't expect overnight miracles, but do expect to feel some positive changes within a few weeks if you're consistent with the modifications. Your health after 60 doesn't have to be about managing decline and accepting limitations. It can be about making strategic choices that support your body's ability to heal, repair, and function optimally. The right foods can help you maintain your strength, preserve your cognitive function, and keep you independent and active for years to come. These seed choices represent a philosophy of aging that focuses on supporting your body's natural processes rather than fighting against them. It's about working with your changing physiology rather than pretending it hasn't changed. It's about being proactive rather than reactive when it comes to your health. The 4 dangerous seeds I've identified aren't inherently bad foods. They're simply not appropriate for most people over 60 given the changes that occur in our digestive systems, inflammatory responses, and nutrient needs as we age. Recognizing this and making appropriate adjustments is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Similarly, the 4 beneficial seeds I've recommended aren't cure-alls. They're targeted nutritional tools that address specific health challenges common in people over 60. Used consistently and properly, they can provide significant support for the health issues that matter most as we age. The most important message I want to leave you with today is this: you have more control over how you age than you might think. The food choices you make every day either support your body's ability to function well or work against it. There's no neutral ground. Every meal is either moving you toward better health or away from it. This doesn't mean you need to be perfect or never enjoy foods just for pleasure. It means being strategic about the foods you eat regularly, the ones that make up the foundation of your daily nutrition. When those foundation foods are working for you instead of against you, you have much more flexibility to enjoy occasional treats without deriving your overall health. The seed swaps I've outlined today represent one important piece of that foundation. They're foods you can incorporate easily into your existing routine without major lifestyle changes, but their impact on your health, energy levels, and quality of life can be significant when you choose the right ones and avoid the problematic ones. Your future self will thank you for the choices you make today. Every time you choose walnuts over chia seeds, hemp hearts over flax, you're making an investment in your cognitive function, cardiovascular health, and overall vitality. These investments compound over time, creating a foundation for healthy aging that can preserve your independence and quality of life for decades. Which of these changes resonates most with you? And what's the first swap you're planning to make in your kitchen this week?